Okay, we're back. And we're gonna head into the lair. We've got this Demonspawn Artificer of Kiku. Doing pretty well. I don't think we'll have too much of a problem here. Let's swap to electricity. Got a ring here. Pro magic. I'm gonna keep that on. Okay, he's resistant to poison. That's okay, we can just kill him with electricity, vampiric touch if need be. Okay. This guy yelled, let's pull him back to the staircase. Okay, we've got a Komodo dragon. Not bad. Make a skeleton out of him. He screeched again, but we have a skeleton now, so we'll just keep walking around with these friends. You really do get a nice steamroll going on a character that has animate skeleton, animate dead, animate whatever, you know. Not that we really need it, now that we have these spines, we can sort of tab through here, except for Hydras. Okay, we've got some blink frogs, which would normally be a little bit annoying on this character. But with these skeletons, it's not a huge deal. What does vampiric touch this stuff? That is a lot of skeletons. A ton of skeletons. A skeleton. I'm manual exploring because I'm concerned about Hydras. I don't have enough hit points to survive a big hit by like a 10-headed, since they can do 18 damage per head. And I don't really, you know, I've never really done the math on the GDR. Unfortunately, it's not listed out. If I were to go to my actual armor and say, well, what's my GDR? It doesn't say anywhere here. People say it doesn't matter, but it really does at certain points in the game against things like Hydras, if you can auto-explore into them, that sort of thing. Oh, it's based on the base AC, so it's this formula here. So as you can see, that's, I mean, it's possible to plug numbers into that and test, but a bit obnoxious. Not sure if these guys will get shafted. Oh, okay, good, they don't. Oops, got a Rhyme Drake here. We don't have any Arc Hold, so let's be a little bit careful. We want to just go close to him. Nice. I'm gonna auto-explore. No, we don't have a cloak yet. Okay, that's one floor of Lair. Cool. Okay, we're gonna shout. We'll go up. See, the thing is, once we get this Necronomicon, we're gonna get Infestation. And that's gonna be good enough to carry us through the entire game, more or less. Alright, what to do about Uruk? I'm tempted to let my skeletons do a lot of this work. He has a Halberd of Venom. I think I'm going to receive corpses. Roundrake corpse. Oh boy. Good, he's slow now. 25 plus Halberd of Venom is a lot. Why don't we just heal wounds? I don't really want to go next to him in an attempt to start Vampiric Touching. On the other hand, we can always blink out or fear out. Probably blink out. So let's do it. And we can just roll the dice a little bit on Venom, but we always had a way out. He was never able to one-shot me, and that's what's important. Because he had 25, we had like 41 hit points, and the Halberd does 13, so 13 plus 25, that's less than 41. Of course, we could have gotten pretty badly poisoned, I suppose. Probably not to the point where we wouldn't get a move. Skeleton has no space to rise. What? Skeleton had no space to... That's weird. There's plenty of space. Alright. Not bad. Okay, we got a Basilisk. We're wearing a Ring of Pro Magic, so he's unlikely to petrify us. Why don't we let our skeleton do the work nonetheless until he's next to me. There we go. It's not totally smooth killing things on this character, but we're getting there. If we had Bolt of Draining, this would be a lot better, but Kiku kind of robbed us just a little bit. He's not guaranteed to give it. I think he's guaranteed to give it if you started as Necromancer. I'm not totally positive about that, but I think because of the combination of spells that you get, he'll only give you spells you don't have. So I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But Bolt of Draining is like the magic. That's the magic key to being a pure caster Necromancer. And I wouldn't say we're a pure caster. We're meleeing a bit, but I've only trained fighting and some staves in terms of melee. So, all right, this dude can cause us some real problems. But we have a Hydra skeleton, so that's good enough. Nice. Put this into intelligence. My feet thicken into form. Well, it kind of sucks that I'm never going to be able to wear boots later, but that's okay. Don't feel bad about spamming corpse delivery. Use it liberally. Use it every time you think you're remotely in danger. It's kind of like it's kind of like heroism on Oka. It costs almost no piety. Okay, we got our first Hydra. And we're gonna let the skeletons do the work on him. Why don't we already have, well, we have some damage ones identified, but I'm gonna identify this other Ice Blast. Anyway, you can see how skeleton by itself is enough to deal with really bad problems. Alright, 2 floors. Time for the third. I do like, the fun thing about this guy is I really like the fact that he can, while he couldn't really stand up and melee at a 2-3 axe at the same time if he didn't have Vampiric Touch, with Vampiric Touch, he can do whatever. Alright, so we're going to try to Ice Blast this dude to death. He's doing a pretty good job of resisting. There we go. I'm okay with spending resources to kill a Hydra, especially when they're resources that will be less useful later on, such as Ice Blast. Ice Blast remains useful for most of the game, but its efficacy is reduced, I would say. The Lair is probably the point in the game. Like, Lair and Orc are the 2 places in the game where Ice Blast is really excellent. Why did this... My yak skeleton has lasted longer than the Hydra skeleton I just made. Okay, it's an Oclob. It's a lot of Oclobs. That's one of these little Oclob corners. Well, we could go memorize Fulminate Prism, which is a way to sort of cheese these things to death, but we'd have to train some conjurations and hexes, and I don't think I'm prepared to do that. On the other hand, there is a Jeweled Quarterstaff here, which could be plus intelligence. That'd be nice to have. Let's just leave it for now. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? We don't have to leave it. Because we have... Oh, I thought we had a port. Oh, we don't have apportation. Never mind. There's even a ring. Probably not something we care about, but still. If we find another Hydra and kill it and make a skeleton, we could use that. A simulacrum, that kind of thing. That would be really good. Some kind of minion we need to use to kill those guys. If we don't use Fulminate. Because we just don't have... well, they're immune to negative energy, so we can't go in and Vampiric Drain them. I got a Hornet. So our skeletons deal with that. And if they fail, we'll use wands. I got them. Okay. Alright, we got the Hydra. Let's again let our skeleton deal with that. Oh, he stupidly walks right past it. I say stupid, but really he's smart. Let's bust out the big guns and use acid. Doesn't kill him. Six-headed Hydra I don't think can kill me. Even if he gets random energy. Let's see. 18 times 6 is almost 120. More like 108. But GDR comes into play. Let's just acid it. Got it. Hey, a double sword. Could make a double sword of pain later if I wanted to. But see, like, here's why I don't like pain. Don't get me wrong, it's a great brand. But I don't really see how it's significantly better than electrocution, because if you've trained enough necromancy to make it better than electrocution, why don't you want to cast things out of the Necronomicon, you know? Like, what's wrong with those spells? Like the combination of Haunt and Infestation. Now granted, Infestation is relatively new, so I kind of understand. We're behind on identifying potions and things, so let's do that. Let me check something. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 potions identified. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we might have acquirement. Probably not. I'm only using Vampiric Touch when I'm a little bit injured, because Vampiric Touch will only do damage if you are hurt. It can only do damage up to the amount that you are hurt, because it heals you a little bit. So, something to keep in mind. If I had pain, I could control that a little more, because it does 1 point of damage to me. But I mean, this is fine without it. Okay, we got a Hydra. We'll acid him first. Okay, he's got acid on him. Hopefully our skeletons can do a little something to him. See if I can't Ice Blast him to death. And we got him. Oh, that's funny. Don't usually see these on Lair 5, but okay. We have RF by virtue of our mutations, so let's just walk up and get him. This is a little scary, but our skeleton takes it out. Oh. What a vault. Spiny frogs and hydras. This tells me that I want to get out. I can't fight all this crap at once, and I'm hurt. So that's fine. We'll just go to a different... Yeah, we'll go to a different one. This one. And we'll rest up. Okay, as for the Hydras... I don't know. Probably lightning? We're running a little low on the wands I'm using to kill them. I prefer not to use lightning if I can avoid it. Because, well, noise. These guys are, let's see, 6 heads. We could always just use, we could just use corpse call, corpse, receive corpses. Trying to get a double zap on them. Got him. Well, we can certainly drop some wands now. And we still have some lightning, but we don't know how much. I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to kill this Hydra. I mean, that lightning might be enough damage left. We could try to spam paralyze on it, but... Let's just go check that vault. See if it's empty, because it might have some... I see that it has a blink scroll in it. I'm gonna shout... Spiny Fork Skeleton. Alright, cool. Just auto-explore. No flaming. No edged flaming, unfortunately. Eight-headed Hydra. I think that we'll use skeletons. Receive corpses again. Trying to get a Hydra corpse, and we got one. Wow, he's really doing some work. We lightning him to finish him off. That was a decent use of piety. And again, it doesn't cost much. Okay, we've got a necromancer here who could agony us. Bolt of fire, bolt of cold, hopefully bolt of fire since we have resistance. We do not have control on dead right now. So why don't we take this stuff to a staircase. Yeah, I just didn't bother to memorize it, so I'm gonna dispel that stuff, pull him up, and kill him. Come back down. This is just a regular elephant, not a dire elephant, so... And it's a zombie, so really no big deal at all. I didn't know it was in there, but it looks like nothing. Wow. Well, that was anticlimactic. Okay, Lair 6. I could see us having some issues here. Torpor Snail. Let's pull this stuff up. Okay, not bad. We could start walking around with Death Channel if we wanted to. I said we'd have that online by the time Lair was over. And, we do. I wouldn't say this is online for another character who's not worshipping Kiku, but 22% is fine, or 21% is fine when you are pretty assured that your miscasts won't happen. Wow. Oklobs. So many Oklobs. I wish we had Animate Dead, I'll tell you that much. Only having Animate Skeleton is not the best. Not only are you get less powerful minions, oh, sorry about that, there's a ambulance or something outside. Anyway, yeah, not only do you have less powerful minions, you're spending more mana to make them. Sort of. Well, maybe not. It costs 4 for Animate Skeleton. But you get as many on the screen. You get as many as are on the screen. Okay, we really want to be on a staircase in case this goes topsy-turvy. Okay, not bad. Rest up. Okay, we've got a Guardian Serpent here. Why don't I just make sure this thing can't kill me? 3d13, it cannot, especially since we have our poison. So we're gonna go big or go home. We will, Vampiric Touch for hit points. Alright, that's dealt with. Cool. Alright. For the Wolf Spider, we're going to go up and rest. Wolf Spiders do an insane amount of damage, so... okay. Okay. We've unfortunately come down right next to a Hydra, so it can do... Thankfully, it's only 4 heads. So I don't have to waste resources on it. Maybe. Let's think about this. We could just try to Vampiric Touch it to death. But probably not with this crocodile next to us. So we try to charm the crocodile and it didn't quite work. Why don't we Confusion the crocodile? That works, but now we're hurt. I'm gonna Vampiric Touch. If I need to, I'm gonna blink to that hatch. This is going okay. Remember, he can only do about 80 damage to me. Subtract my GER. So he can't really kill me unless these... There we go. I was gonna say unless these guys Yeah, thankfully that was a very low number of heads, so I was willing to duke it out with him, roll the dice. And we must have made a lot of noise or something because that Guardian Serpent popped out of his special vault. Okay, gonna confuse this Hornet. As usual, we don't want to be paralyzed. I think I'll rely on... Well, I'm gonna re-up the confusion. I don't really want to be next to him is the thing, because he might paralyze me anyway, but it's probably fine. There we go. Even being 2 squares away from him is dangerous, because the RNG, while it's unlikely, it could fly him right next to me with 2, because he moves so fast. 2 squares. Okay, we're going to try to duke it out with these guys, no problem. Got a big pile of wyverns here. We should be fine. Yep. Thought there was going to be more than 2. Oh geez, another one. Alright, let's confuse him too. And let our skeletons do the work. A lot of Oclobs. A lot of Oclobs here. This is good. Got a couple yak corpses, so let's corpse rot them. We're running out of mana here, so why don't we reset the fight? Probably should have reset the fight a little bit sooner. Because as you can see, you never know what you're going to run into. We'll confuse this thing, since it's faster than us, and we'll continue heading towards the upstairs. There's 3 of these guys, and we're fighting them all at the same time, but it's no big deal. With Vampiric Touch. Hey, we got our Necronomicon. So... none of the stuff is castable yet, but the first thing we're going to do is Infestation. We're going to get Haunt. Well, we don't have enough levels of spells yet, and that's fine because, truthfully, we're not going to train summoning for a little while, so that's totally cool. And we'll be able to... we're going to amnesia off some of this stuff at some point. Death Channel's going to be good enough anyway for a while. But we have Infestation online right now if we use Brilliance, so that's cool. Confuse this wolf spider since they do a lot of damage. Okay, well first of all I want this box of beasts, but it looks like we're having a little bit of inventory management problems. Let's drop some wands that are empty. We can drop some books probably. We're eventually going to want Sublimation of Blood. I'm not bothering to memorize Sigatuvi's, which some people might disagree with, but we're like a main caster, so... or pure caster, so we don't really need AC. If we need AC, we're probably making a mistake. Not necessarily, but probably. We have all the important rings memorized, so, or the important scrolls identified, I meant to say, or potions. I mean, we don't have scrolls. We do have potions. So, well, no. Come to think of it, we have both because we have blinking, teleport, fear. Those are the important ones, and we have heal wounds, curing haste, and then like might, I guess, and agility, which are sort of the cherry on top. So we have every important thing memorized is what I'm saying. And that kind of is a point in the game where you can start using your identify scrolls on whatever you want, rather than focusing on potions and scrolls to a lesser degree. Of course, that's to be expected since we're all the way at the end of Lair now, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you either suffer from a dearth of identify, or you have a lot of potions you need to identify, and you just kind of don't have stuff memorized all that soon, or identified rather all that soon. Okay, so this is the first time we've cast Death Channel, and it works pretty well in here. I knew that there was going to be a whole ton of death channelable dog monsters in here. So, oh, I can't drain life from hellhounds. But yeah, Death Channel is like the ultimate steamroll spell, because you kill things which kill more things, and every time you kill something you get the spectral whatever, and then the spectral thing goes and continues to kill more stuff, and you continue to get more allies. It's really nice. Okay, our death channel ended though, but we can just re-up it. You can tell that it's like a status effect showing up here, which will change colors when it's about to end. Now, we didn't have to use it. We could have taken this vault slowly and carefully, but it's a lot more fun to be able to kill it all at once. We're losing a little bit of experience for this, but it's not enough to matter. Maybe we shouldn't be in attack range of all these bears at the same time. Okay, these guys cannot be petrified, so they're going to have a grand old time taking this guy down. They can take damage from the cloud, I guess. Maybe. Or maybe that's just the Catoblepus' melee. God, I wish I had Animate Dead. Like, how nice would that be if I could just pull up all this stuff around me at the same time? But anime dead is a luxury. Anime skeleton is the real hotness. I mean, that's really all you need. Alright, spectral things have a draining attack. And Drain is a really good brand. Hey, a unique, or a Randart amulet. Let's drop Confusion. Let's try it on. Alright, I need to remove Curse. We haven't really used Rage at all. Okay, Gourmand. That's actually more useful than Rage for us, believe it or not. Gotta be careful. Well, it's not really wasting turns, but I'm just saying we have to remember that you can't Vampiric Drain the dogs, the Hellhounds. I'd be a little more apprehensive about just barreling in here if I didn't have RF+. But given that I do, no big deal. A little bit drained. No big deal. It's from those hell rats. Okay, cool. That's the floor. That's Lair as well. A few Ocklobs. I mean, a lot of Ocklobs all over the place. And this has got to be the entrance to slime that they're guarding, so I really don't care about that yet. I see there's a scroll of Identify. I do want that. I don't really know how I would get it, though. Unless I wanted to, like, I don't know how I can do this without using resources, even just Piety. I mean, Piety would be fine, but I guess I could go ahead and get Haunt. Well, let's send our spectral things in. And I'll use lightning, I guess. I'll take a step. Oh, we actually have no lightning. Spectral things are getting hung up on this plant, but that's okay. Alright, the spectral things are sufficient. Wow, those are just spectral rats too. River rats. Not bad. As for these guys, they're going to be a little bit harder. Without Simulacrum online, I don't think we're going to be able to... Well, I could use a Brilliance, but I only have 2. We're going to Amnesia off that dart before too long. Let's just do it now. That's fine. Then we're gonna turn off Amnesia. We'll go to the Amnesia scrolls if we need them. You know, I've got so much in the way of Piety. I'll use Hydra Corpses for this. Nice. Nice. Hydra skeletons are so good. Pretty much as good as an actual Hydra. Oh wow. Really loud engine out there. Alright. Let's remove Curse. I don't think I regret wearing this. It's got extra magic on it. It's got RF minus, but we have RF plus from... We have RF plus from our Demonspawn mutations. So that's worth holding on to, especially with the MR plus on it, bringing us to plus while wearing both. So that'll make Orc a little less scary. Orc Sorcerers only have a 2% chance to paralyze us now, although their Bolt of Fire will do a bit of damage without RF plus, but that's overall that's good. Plus this is plus 10, so, and we have a little bit of staves training even, so it's not a bad weapon to just whack things with. Pretty good weapon overall. Alright, well, that's Lair. I'll do Orc and Dungeon next time. Until then, I am signing off.